Om Shanti, good morning. Today we'll be going through this Murli of 9th December. Even today it is a coincidence that it's 9th December, and this revised Murli is of 9th December 1970. And today's Murli, Baba is focusing on the main effort, or the basis of our effort is catching power. So as a result of Rajyoga, we have learned that we get 8 powers, Ashta Shaktiya. But today Baba is talking about catching power. Like catching power is the main basis of our effort. Like for example, scientists try to catch the sound. But Baba said that what is it that all of you catch with the power of silence? And it's quite interesting. Baba said that we catch all the divine sanskars of 5,000 years ago. The divine qualities, Adi and Adi sanskar that Baba talks about. So what is our original sanskar? Baba said it should be very, very clear in our consciousness that it was just yesterday and we are experiencing it today. And with this power, or with this catching power, or by making this conscious powerful, our attitude, our vision will automatically become very, very powerful. So Baba is talking to this group of Kumars, which has come for the bhatti. And Baba also said that we have to ensure or adopt the divine virtues. And for that, Baba said that we have to remember the two things, that is, one is the angelic and the divine form. So that once we live with this form, automatically we'll become the lighthouse, the moving lighthouse and might house, so that through us, everyone can see that divinity and experience the light and might. So let us go through this Murli. And also one interesting thing which Baba added, to remember two expressions. One is to consider ourselves as guest in this old world and think of this whole world as guest house. And second is to remember to get out. That is to throw out. Don't allow any things, of this old world to enter our mind, so that all the defects or all the weaknesses will, just go out. It should be thrown out. So let us go through this Murli, beautiful Murli on catching power, which is the main basis of effort. So I'm just sharing the screen real quick. So this revised Murli of 9th December 1970, and Avyakt Bap Dada. The title of today's Murli is Catching Power, the main basis of effort. Today, Bap Dada is saying two things in each of you. To what extent each of you has become knowledgeful and powerful. In this, Baba is also seeing how powerful the catching power of each of you is. The main basis of effort is catching power. Nowadays, scientists try to catch sound. But what is it that all of you catch with the power of silence? Just as they try to catch the sound of a time from the past, in the same way, what is it that you catch? Can you catch your divine sanskars of 5,000 years ago? If we just pause for a minute and just see, like, am I really, able to catch all the divine sanskars? All the divine qualities, all the divine virtues that I have, can I just, go back and just experience it in this moment? So Baba further said, have you imbibed that much catching power? Those people are able to catch the sound of others, But you not only catch your original sanskars, but you also create your own practical form. Always keep in your consciousness that you were that, and that you are now once again becoming that. The more you are able to catch those sanskars, the more you will be able to become that form. The more you're able to catch those sanskars, the more you will be able to become that form. And for this, Baba has given a wonderful practice of practicing the 5 forms, so that the more we remember, the more we are able to experience, or more we are able to become that form. So let it be the divine form, or worship worthy form, Brahman, or the angelic form. So the more we remember, the more we become that form. Make your consciousness powerful. That is, make it elevated and clear. Another practice, Baba said, to make the consciousness powerful and make it elevated and clear. Just as you have a clear experience of your present form and your present sanskars, in the same way, you should clearly experience your original form and sanskars. Do you understand? You need catching power to that extent. Just as at present, you have your activity and your task clearly in your consciousness. In the same way, the original activity should clearly and easily be in your consciousness, along with our daily tasks, daily activities and routine. We're very clear about, okay, what am I supposed to do today? What are my meetings, or what are my tasks that I have to do? So in the same way, Baba said that, in our consciousness, the original activity should very clearly and easily, it should be there in our consciousness. And always have the determined thought that that's what you were. Something of 5,000 years ago should be experienced as clearly as though it is a matter of yesterday. This is called catching power. So in one simple statement, Baba defined what catching power is. Always have the determined thought that that's what you were. Something of 5,000 years ago should be experienced as clearly as though it was a matter of yesterday. So that is what catching power is. So you must make your consciousness that elevated and clear before you leave here. You have come to a bhatti, have you not? You should constantly be able to see your original form and original sanskars in front of you. By making your consciousness powerful, your attitude and vision will automatically become powerful. By making your consciousness powerful, your attitude and vision will automatically become powerful. So it is more about the practice of reminding ourselves again and again, so that it goes deep down in my consciousness, and I feel, I live, and I just be that form. Okay. So what will this group of Kumars become? You will be the future Kumars, that is, you will become unique. Others will have visions of your 2 forms from your 2 eyes. What 2 forms? You were told about this: the incorporeal form and the form of one who has adopted divine virtues. That is, the angelic and the divine form. Each of you will have the experience, and others will have the experience from you, as though you are a walking and moving lighthouse and might house. So the practice, so what is it that we have to remind ourselves? That we are the angelic form and the divine form. एक आंख में जैसे फरिश्ता स्वरूप, दूसरे आंख में देवता स्वरूप. So the more we practice this, with this practice, we will have that consciousness very, very clear, and it will be reflected in our attitude, in our words and action, everything. And others will see us as walking and moving lighthouse and might house. So what we have to practice and what others will experience, both of that Baba is explaining. So do you have such a vision of your own form? If you can catch and experience something of 5,000 years ago, then can you not experience your final form? Whatever weaknesses now remain, remove that and become an embodiment of experience before you return. So now make sure that no weaknesses remain. You must bring about such a transformation from this bhatti. Just as when golden aged souls incarnate, they do not have the slightest knowledge of this effort making life. In the same way, you should be able to merge within yourself the knowledge of weaknesses and defects. Beautifully, Baba is explaining it like the way the golden aged souls who enter or who incarnate have no knowledge of past, have no knowledge of future. They just live in present. They're very, very mindful, soulful, and they're just enjoying that golden aged life. So in the same way, Baba is saying that even now for us, we should merge ourselves in such a way that there are no defects or weaknesses that of past life, of old age, old world. So for that, this group especially has to remember two things. Okay, these two things are included in two expressions. One is to consider this old world to be a guest house, and the second is get out. Guest house and get out. That is, throw it out. Don't allow it to re-enter in the future. Then you will never have any experience of weaknesses or defects. So in order to remove the weaknesses and defects, just to remember two words or two expressions is guest house and get out. So consider yourself to be a guest in this old world, and this is the guest house. And get out is to don't allow any waste or any weaknesses or defects to enter your mind. So this is easy effort, is it not? This group has to show wonders. Therefore, always have the aim not to take rest from service in your thoughts, words, or deeds, even for a second. Only then will you become the best, and the rest for 21 births. And then rest for 21 births. Do you understand? So now Baba is also emphasizing on how to utilize a time of Sangam Yog, this confluence age, in the best possible manner. So the more we are at service, now we are going to take rest for 21 births. So this is a group of hard workers. There is no rest for hard workers group. They never take rest and they do not waste anything either. This is why this hard workers group and spiritual servers gathering do not think about anything but service. This is the task that comes with your name. You must remember that you have to offer yourself for service. Baba is saying that it's very important for us to understand this one simple statement. You must remember that you have to offer yourself for service. Only then you will receive congratulations from Bap Dada. So it is very important that, if someone is telling you, you do this, you do that, okay, which means that you're not doing it on your own. Someone is guiding you or someone is telling you, you do this service, or even it could be very simple seva at center, or any task that we are doing together, the Brahmin souls, or any service that we are doing together. So it is very important for us to offer ourselves, like whatever is your strength or whatever are your qualities, use it in service. If you think that you are very good at, maybe um, doing a particular task, or if if you can plan things well, if you can execute things well, if you can lead the group well, so whatever qualities you have, use that in service. And if you know something very specific, maybe if you're good at something, at cooking, or maybe at designing, or at crafts, or whatever, so offer yourself for service. Before someone tells you, you say that this is what I can do. If it is possible, then of course you get a chance to serve. So Babdada will give congratulations, to all those who offer themselves for service. So the hard workers group and spiritual servers group should always remember the slogan. Our target is to merge within and to confront. Our target is to merge within and confront. This is the slogan for this group. You have to confront Maya, not the divine family. बाबा कहते हैं कि सामना हमें माया का करना है, दैवी परिवार का सामना नहीं करना है. Okay, and we have to be merged within, is that be in that consciousness of who we are. Remember that. What are my divine qualities? What are my divine virtues? So you have to confront Maya, not the divine family. What do you have to merge within? You have to merge your old sanskars within yourself. And it will happen only when we remember who we are. Okay. Together with being knowledgeful, you also have to be powerful. Together with being knowledgeful, you also have to be powerful. Only then will you become serviceable. Acha, when you see the ceremony of applying a tilak, do you remember the crowning ceremony? This tilak now is for stabilizing yourself in your perfect form. Binduru. Okay. So the tilak now is for stabilizing yourself in your perfect form. Later, you will receive a tilak for the kingdom. This tilak is for making a promise and bringing about revelation. Do you have that much power? Babdada is giving these special teachings to the spiritual servers group. Become those who give regard to the same extent as you consider yourself to have a right. First of all, you have to give regard and then claim a right. Giving regard and claiming a right should go together. What will happen if you do not give regard but simply claim a right? Whatever you do will become useless. If you just claim regard, okay, then Baba said that everything will become useless. Whatever you do will become useless. Okay, so of course we have to give regard and then claim a right. Therefore, keep both these aspects together. Acha, Om Shanti. Let us give a lot of love and remembrance to our beloved Bap Dada. Om Shanti. Let us move to the sharing of today's Murli. E.K. Lakshmi sharing that my takeaway point is guest house and get out. Guest house is old Get out, throw all old sanskars out. Don't let it return in future. Okay. Others who would like to share? What were
Om
your
Shanti,
takeaways?
brother. Om Shanti, brother. Today, Baba is asking us to imbibe all the divine qualities and all virtues and to catch the sanskars more. The sanskaras, you will become that form, he says. And then our conscience should be powerful and elevated. Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Baba is emphasizing on both aspects, knowledgeful and powerful. More often we have knowledge that what is the right thing, right way to do, and but it depends whether we put it in practice or not. That depends on the power of the soul. So both knowledgeful and powerful, both aspects Baba is emphasizing equally. And in the powers, the main power is catching power. How powerful is the catching power? And the efforts, the main foundation is the catching power. Whether we are able to catch what was our eternal form, Anadi and Adi Swarup. And since it is a cyclic process, it's a cycle, 5,000 year cycle. So whatever we were 5,000 years ago, those sanskars I should be able to, either soul should be able to experience, because after 5,000 I'm going back to the same 0000, that 1111, the initial part of the kalpa. So that also Baba has said that the antim swarup ka anubhav karna hai. वो अंतिम स्वरूप is nothing but that end of that 5,000 and the starting of the kalpa cycle. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Catching power. Earlier, I remember when Baba used to speak in his Murlis, am I able to understand the touchings of Baba? Do I have within me a clear intellect to really catch what Baba is actually meaning with what he wants to tell us? And that's such a nice power to be able to grasp what he wants to say. Only when I am able to really get that power to grasp something is going, and then I catch that signal and I put it. It's so that only what is needed comes in. I always used to think about catching power like that. But today Baba has given a propelling power, a kind of a different catching power. Just like when when a ship goes and all, they have to take catch of the right wind. If suppose they don't, the sails and all which are there, if they don't get catch of the right wind, the ship will go in a wrong direction. I cannot go, the ship has to go here and there. Similarly, if I am able to really imbibe that real catching power, I can get so much of positive energy in my mind. I'll become light and I'll become mind. So I really love this. Another outlook which Baba has given today, and what would happen if I have good catching power? How do I catch? He says with silence. Then what I have to catch today, he's saying, your samskaras. So I used to wonder, the first sentence itself when you read, brother, you said 5,000 years ago. So that samskaras, those divine samskaras, not the samskaras of the copper age and all. So he's saying, go back, take those samskaras. And he gives us an intoxication. You wear that, you are that, and you're becoming that. That itself gives me an aim. Okay, my father has told me, I will do. And it makes my drishti, my vritti very powerful. Thank you, Baba, for giving me such a nice power, along with so many controlling power, ruling power. Now you're giving me the catching power. Om Shanti.
Very well
And
explained. Thank you. Yes, go ahead, sorry.
Adhar for drishti and vritti is smriti, but for the smriti also, Baba saying ki catching power should be very, very powerful. Then only those smritis will be emerging in the mind, in the consciousness. That is one part. And then that other aspect is samane ki shakti, samana or samna karna. Jitna we get merged into our eternal form, the more we'll be able to confront, power to face our own weaknesses one to one and be victorious. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So I like to, Baba said, catch your divine sanskars of 5,000 years. So the more we catch, the more we become that. So this divine qualities are already there within us, which is in the merged form now. So our effort should be to bring that awareness within ourselves as much as possible, so that these divine qualities will emerge out of us. Just like Baba says, we were that, and we will become that. Just a matter of practice and having that awareness, determined thought that we were that. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, family.
Om Shanti, brother. Baba said that to me today, we are the angelic form and the divine form. Then only others will experience from us lighthouse and nighthouse. So this is what Baba has been expecting from us, from the children's. So lighthouse and nighthouse means these are the supreme qualities from the Baba, what we have to get. And then the other point is, you should remember yourself offering to service, so that Bab Dada will congratulate. So without insteading of others, we should voluntarily offer to us to the Baba service. That is be the supreme quality of the Baba's child. Thank you. Om Shanti.
One more thing I would like to add, brother. So, do you want the tilak? And if you see, even in yesterday's Murli, I mean the Avyakt one, Baba spoke about vision, and I remember some sister asking about what vision. And today Baba is saying, yes, if you have this good catching power within you, your two forms will be revealed. And then he gives what are the two visions an outsider would get: a divine form. Just see how I have to change my form into a divine form. Is it Chula Kala Sampuran, Sampurna Nirvikari, Ahimsa Pramodam, or whatever is that elevated personality Baba is talking about. So that divine form. And then my favorite slogan, which I always like, lighthouse. I always like this concept of lighthouse, as if I'm sitting on the top and all these people who are going here and there in bhakti and saying, hey, please come here, see Baba's come. I like this concept. So these two visions, if you need, Baba says, remove, become, return. What I have to remove? I have to remove my weaknesses which are within me. How do I remove it? Baba says, stop thinking anything. Finish your weaknesses, think it as rubbish and throw it. And then become. So no defect, I become perfect. And then I can return home with my tilak and with my Baba. So even this vision which Baba says, and end he's going to give me the tilak, is one more point which I would really like to take with me. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, beautifully explained. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share? Any other points that you felt or really touched you deeply?
Om Shanti. I like the point that I like the word that Baba uses, guest. So this word, it to me, I think it's a very powerful word. So this gives me a, thought that I don't eternally belong here. As any guest is coming to our home, we know that, and they themselves don't know that they will be leaving shortly. So this word guest, I think it's, we get a lot of insights about, we don't originally belong here. We have to go back. So it's quite giving so much of power and detachment also. Just thought of sharing. Om Shanti. Thank you.
So if I have to ask you, in referring to today's Murli, how to build catching power? What would you say? What is the way that we can build our catching power?
Through all the 4 subjects, Gyan, Yoga, Seva and Dharana.
Imbibe all the good qualities, virtues, and put it in practice. I think that will help us to have a catching power.
Okay.
Om Shanti. Power of silence can help. Om Shanti.
Always remain in soul conscious.
Always remain in soul consciousness. Very good. Okay.
Om Shanti, am I audible?
Yes.
I think practicing spinning the discus of self-realization, that is Panch Swarupo Ka Abhyas, that really helps in reminding us, first of all, who we are, what we are doing, and what we are going to become. So that helps to emerge our original and eternal sanskars. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Concentrate on self than to concentrate on others. That will also help us in catching. We have to concentrate on ourselves and remove all the weaknesses in ourselves first.
For me, it is like that, brother. See, when you have to catch something, something is going to catch. First, you have to see whether you have that power within you. You have to realize that power. So I have to imbibe that power, one. Secondly, I have to clear my intellect of any other doubt that I cannot do it. I must say I can. And I must hold it. I must also, for that, I need Srimad. I need that holding hand of this, what I'm catching. Am I able to, it's not just a physical thing, it's a subtle thing. So getting that power within me saying, yes, I can, and who else will catch if not me? Ye mera hi hai, mujhe hi karna hai. So, then this kind of intoxication within me, and why should I catch? That aim or reason, because Baba is saying, aapko wo banna hai. I have my faith in you. Please catch. All these I relate it from the physical level and take it to the subtle level as per Baba's direction. I think this is how I try to relate the catching power. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. By having a determined thought that we were those and now we have to become that again. By doing this, we can develop a catching power.
Om Shanti. Just adding one reflection that once we go to the subtle form, the intellect, the thoughts, intellect, and sanskars. So intellect plays a very big role in actually power to discern and also power to catch. What is my Anadi Swarup? What is my eternal, which is always there, my original sanskars. So the more I practice my intellect to be very clean and clear and always elevated, then in that is the power actually. That is the power which can build my catching power. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. This is Baba tells it's Sache Dil Safte. Means plain intellect and love for Baba and the love for the family. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, detaching from the old world and the old sanskar and imbibing the all divine quality of Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
And Baba's few words are interrelated. If we see how to make intellect clean, clear, and plain, it depends. It will. This guest house word and get out word is very, very relevant. The more I consider the old patterns, old sanskars as an old world as a guest house, which I do not belong to anything of this sort here. I am always in the new world, but temporarily in this guest house, and I just get out any sort of which does not belong to me. So this helps me to make my intellect clean, clear, and plain, which increases the power, the subtle power of the soul to catch. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So all the answers were very, very apt, and I really liked so beautifully each one of you has explained how to build the catching power. Now, second thing which I would like to ask you is, what is it that you'll practice today from today's Murli? One thing that you're going to put in practice.
Guest house and get out.
So you'll remind yourselves about this, like how will
Yes.
you, what exactly
Yes.
you're going to do?
That is to forget all this old world, whatever attachment, whatever is there, and then I have to imbibe all the good virtues and put it in practice, and not to re-enter whatever the old samskar that I have, that I should not bring it back again in my life.
Mm-hmm. Guest house and get out are these two words, like everyone has coined it. And
yeah, I would also be practicing this guest house, that I am always detached and always do a checking. I should get out, no entry for the any kind of weaknesses or any which does not belong to me in my eternal form. And this practice I will do. Om Shanti.
Shanti, brother, can I ask you a question?
yes, please.
You know, Baba never uses these kind of negative words in the Murli. Today, I just wanted to know what was the Hindi word which he used for get out. Because remember that word, na layak, he never used to use in the Murli. And I remember this is what dadis and all used to say. So when this word I saw, get out, it clearly, it put me off. I have never read it. I just wanted to know, is the Hindi version the same? Because sometimes the English version is sometimes a little bit absurd. Yeah, Hindi maybe Baba uses the word get out.
Yes. Mostly like we have seen like Baba's words or Murli, Baba has been using English words also.
No, I've never seen him using this negative. He never uses the word nalayak. And so when this word get out coming from Bhakta, for me, it was something very, that's why it's just a sharing I wanted to ask you, because we all are people who have gone through Bhakta's thing. So when that word get out came, it really pulled off my heart to, as if my father is becoming, a very strict Dharamraj now itself. That's why just sharing that.
So I've put it in the chat box, like in Hindi Murli, Baba also said the same, use the same words. दो बातें दो शब्दों में ही है, एक गेस्ट हाउस, दूसरा गेट आउट, अर्थात बाहर निकालना है और आगे के लिए अंदर आने नहीं देना है. दूसरा, इस पुरानी दुनिया को सदैव गेस्ट हाउस समझो, फिर कभी कमजोरी व कमी का अनुभव नहीं करेंगे। सहज पुरुषार्थ है ना? So these were the exact words of Baba.
Thank you, brother.
Actually, wherever there is a weakness or any kamzori or kami, Baba is very, very strict. And there's no margin for any kind of mercy on that. I mean, that's why Baba has used this word. And it is, get out is also gate out. Means there has to be a gate where we can exit this, and then it is a one way only. It's that again it should not come back to the this guest house, the soul. Om Shanti.
Baba's already told that he cannot be merciful. As per the Dharma, he cannot be merciful henceforth.
And the power to confront, Baba often says that it is for my own weakness and my own old sanskars I have to be confronting, not the Brahmin family. So wherever the confront or this get out and all these things are basically for my own weaknesses, I should be Kali Swarup there, not Shitla Swarup. In this context, we can understand this word. Om Shanti.
Yeah, I agree with all of you all. My Baba is merciful. This Dharamraj will come at the end. So that's why I wanted to share that, because for me, he's an ocean. He forgives. He's taken me from mud and he's taken me in his hand and he's placed me in his heart and he's put me as a jewel. That's how I always picture. So whenever such hard, it frightens me. It frightens me a lot. I know he has to be strict because children have really gone too far. But somewhere that ocean of mercy, that he's such a beautiful, loving father, that is much more in me. So whenever I see this, it frightens me too. When Baba is very, very strict.
Baba's already told that there is no time, no more time. This is the last, this we are coming. So we have to be more, we have to put more efforts and come forward. That's what he said.
One just a little point which which was covered in the last para is that the jitna adhikari samajhte ho utna hi satkari bano. Means the more we are powerful, the more responsibility we have to give regard to everyone. This point is also worth implementing. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So today's Murli is a very beautiful Murli, and let us focus on the catching power, and let us remind ourselves of our original divine sanskars, and constantly, remind ourselves and be in that consciousness that this is who I am, which I was 5,000 years ago, and let me experience it as clearly as it is matter of just yesterday. And that's how I can build my catching power, and I can be in that consciousness so that others can also experience the divine form, and others can also see me as moving lighthouse and lighthouse. So let us sit back in silence, looking at ourselves as the pure, beautiful being. Focusing my attention on this bright and beautiful star, full of light, full of power, full of divinity. I'm so comfortable in my original form. And I see this light spreading. In all directions. This light is the guiding light for all the souls who are powerless, in pain, and are in search of light. I am the lighthouse in my house, spreading this light all around. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Dattabai. Thank you, Divine Family. And see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba.